Hey Shailesh, how are you?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. I don't know whether you guys know it. There was a big outage today, so very busy day for us.
All right. Well, hopefully we can get our money out of the ATM. Um, we have a gift with Shailesh. I just want to share four things about Shailesh. Number one, he leads AI at Morgan Stanley. So it's a real job. Uh, Two, he actually discovered ChatGPT way before they launched. So he's been working with them very, very privately. He is one of the few leaders who have actually created high impact results at scale. You know, they're live with tens of thousands of people in very, very complex environments. And for the next 30 minutes, he's ours. So I've got a bunch of questions that I have for him, but if there's something on your mind that you feel like that you'd like to ask him, feel free. You're actually in a place that's very safe. So he's not going to do a no comment response. He's asked us for Chatham house rules apply. So if you do have something that's on your mind, he'll certainly take the question. So I'll kick it off if that's okay, Shailesh. You started this journey about 3 years ago, and you started the journey as a BI journey, which I think took you onto an AI journey. Can you give the group here some insights to the last 3 years at Morgan Stanley?
Yes, yes, Kathal. First of all, thank you for a nice introduction and good afternoon, good evening to the folks over there. And yes, our journey and it's really started. Our AI journey started before ChatGPT was known to the world. But again, it just didn't happen like we were searching for ChatGPT. Our journey, I always fondly call in Morgan Stanley, at least my journey was, I call it BI to AI journey. So when I started Morgan Stanley, I was able to say, hey, what's happening today? Give me a dashboard, show me a dashboard, all of that. Then we moved on to, I call it data science machine learning, where we are predicting what's going to happen tomorrow. And for that, I was using a vast amount of the data which is available to Morgan Stanley. Where what we still was not able to put in our model was the data which is not available to us, which is unstructured data. And that's where when we are trying to solve it, that's the problem. That's where we found this AI, because there is a vast amount of unstructured data and nobody knows how to use it. As a data scientist, I didn't know how to use it in my model, how to use those signals. And when I started exploring it, that's where we are trying to find or peeling the layers of this onions. And that's where we are trying to find the solutions. And first, I actually started working with the conversational bot, actually, to understand if you can understand conversation, understand the intent. And that's where I started working with Kore.ai. That's even before ChatGPT 5 years back. And then we are looking at our proprietary model, how to solve this problem. And we solved this problem, but not to the extent what OpenAI solved it. And that's where we are. Before ChatGPT, when I looked at it, that AI, it could answer from all my unstructured data repository, understand my intent, understand my English. I can write a sentence for almost like an entire paragraph and it understands it. That is the Nirvana moment for us. And that's what I call it journey from my BI to AI journey, where now I can really look at any of the unstructured data, my knowledge base, and able to answer any questions. And not just that, I can look at internet, search it, and ask the question and get the answer. Now together, that gives me a lot of signals. So that's a short answer for your thing, but definitely this is a great journey.
That's awesome. Anytime we hear about AI and impact, we hear about experimentation and results from experimentation. You're doing this at scale, but you're also not just taking costs out. You've actually deployed a model that actually generates revenue. And we don't hear too many of those use cases. Can you talk us through some of those?
Yeah, actually, there is obviously, as a bank, we are regulated. We can't just bring any model. Any model, when you bring it, we need to prove that it works, it is safe, it is governed. it is repeatable. The results are repeatable, right? So many things, I think when you started, I think I just heard the Raj talking before me, and he talked about the use cases of yesterday's were cost savings. Here, my first use case was really that it is taking enormous numbers of time for my financial advisor. So I'll just give you briefly the idea of my business. I support Morgan Stanley Wealth Management. We are around $8 to $10 trillion of assets. We have millions of customers, and all of them supported by 20,000, we call it financial advisors. You may be one of our customers. And there is a customer support group, which is 10,000 of them. So around 30,000 of people who supports this. Very difficult for them to answer all your questions if you are our customers, because you have the complex needs. You come and ask the questions, not every products are known to them. Then what they do? They try to call up somebody who is expert. First, they call contact center, that's level 1. Then they go to the level 2 and level 3. Sometimes it takes many hours to answer the question. My simple problem was, if I put that the question, understands the intent, and if I can give the answers, or even better, I can perform action for them on their behalf to get them where they want faster. Won't that be a cost saving? And that was a problem I was trying to solve for many years, actually. And we are already kind of taking steps, one step at a time on that. But that's what I really solved with the Core plus OpenAI together. That's my first kind of virtual assistant we built, where it can understand the intent, understand almost all of my knowledge bases. If you ask a question about a product, if you ask questions of Morgan Stanley research, if you ask a question about how I can do certain things, that means action. All of that can be happen in a simple text box interface. Again, now it's with ChatGPT, probably people seen it, but 3 years back when we started working on it, there are not many examples ahead of us. So we are really trailblazers in that. And again, what we built was actually shown in the first OpenAI developer conference as one of the use cases, actually. So that was so anyway, so I think the simple answer to your question is, when I trying to solve, what I was really trying to solve was to give 10 or 15 minutes back in a day to my financial advisor. That means they can use that time to reach their customers faster, better, or at least make one more phone call. And that is really a revenue generator for us. We always knew that the more human-to-human contact is really good for revenue generation. So just by saving their time on what they do, so that was really one of the first products, and still a hit for us.
No, that's awesome. You are scaling this around the world, and scaling is really the ultimate metric of the success of AI. You all created early on a center of excellence, and you focused on governance. Talk us through about the impact of your center of excellence and actually how governance served as an enabler to allow people to make decisions on how to use AI versus it actually been a restrictor.
This is a really good question. And again, I will go back. I think I was just listening to last 10 minutes of Raj conversation. And one slide he actually talked about is there are many agents. Many people are doing development of agents. Will one agent talk to each other? How they will talk, how they govern, what is security? This is a problem for all enterprise. One thing actually worked for us, and we started in a way, because we started small. First of all, it was the first project 3 years back when it did. But once you understand the power of it, rather than asking hundreds of use cases to onboard, hundreds of users start working on it, what we try to do is go a little bit top down. Like, in a way, what we did is created a center of enablement. What that means is really any use case you have, we were allowing them to experiment, but in a governed sandbox. What we created was a sandbox where if you are connecting to the external LLM, we will tell you which LLMs to use. We will tell you the gateway or toll gate you should go through. That means any call from Morgan Stanley to outside LLM, we can govern. We can anytime show a dashboard, who called, how many tokens used, what are the queries people are using. And that's a very much important foundation. The fact that we did that, what it is two things happened. One is our governance function, like a model risk management, uh, legal compliance, all of them become very comfortable because they know that, hey, there are not 10 people are not building these things 10 different ways. They are building in some centralized way on the centralized platform, where at any minute, if somebody asks me, what are the things people are asking, I can able to create that dashboard, create the report for them. Also very important is to standardize on something. So one of the thing, I think, good thing from starting with the Core was a partner from the day one. So with the Core plus OpenAI is our standardization, where we use Core as orchestrator, where I fondly call that OpenAI is my brain, Core is my eyes, ears, hands, and legs, and which is installed on-prem. So what happened is, since it's on-prem platform, people were very comfortable putting some of the sensitive data, which is PII, MNPI in our case, on this platform because they knew that the data is not moving outside Morgan Stanley firewall. We are sending it to OpenAI, but OpenAI has zero data retention. So we are using model to get the information or get the answers, but the answers are not stored, the prompts are not stored, responses are not stored. So that's one of the thing. And just fact that we build it, it took probably some time to get there, but any new use cases are coming up or can develop much faster. They don't have to go through the same rigor or process which the first use case went through. So just to give you the scale, first year, which is year 2022, we built first AI application. This is like even before ChatGPT. Second year, we were around 10 applications which went to production. And I'm saying production when I say 10 applications. There are hundreds of experimentations going on. And this year, our goal is to go 100 plus in production. That means a centralized orchestrator, autonomous agents, no code developments, all these accelerators we are building. So we build a governance platform as well as give an accelerator so people don't have to go and figure out their own way of doing things. So most of things are standard. All they need to come with their use case, their ideas, and the sandbox is there to experiment. Then they know the exactly defined process to go from sandbox to development to QA to prod. And not just that, after that continuous monitoring, because that's the important aspect. This thing works on the day one. Can it work on day 10? So all these things are in the platform, which is built using this vendor, and some of them are our accelerators, but it's a common pattern for everybody to use.
That's awesome. New technology, but still some old conversations. We're back to build versus buy, repeat, point solution versus platform. Take us through how you thought about platform, build versus buy, and obviously the benefits you're seeing now. I think you've said you have 100 AI initiatives deployed or deploying globally right now.
Yeah. This is the question. I don't think there is a right or wrong answer here, or one answer that fits all, right? It's always a dilemma. What can I just buy it or use it? Can I use Microsoft Copilot as is? People are using it. Can I use the ChatGPT as is? We are a big customer of both of them. And that was the decision we had to take. But the answer was somewhat here, right? It's the unique nature of our company, which is a governed entity, where there is always a friction of saying that, hey, it's the latest technology out there. Can you just put it on your data on the cloud? Can you put all my 10 million customer data on the cloud and let people ask any question? Can I put my PII, MNPI data or files and get the answer there? It can be stored in the cloud or somewhere else? So those are the things which people who are little concerned on. Very easy for them to tell them, hey, we don't have, our data is not going outside Morgan Stanley firewall. We can always buy a product or buy a platform and build, not build in the sense like a start from scratch. We are already the platform, which is almost 90% there, and 10% you can change the platform to make it look like it's a Morgan Stanley product. So this is the very important thing I'm saying. With some of the thing, what we did with the core actually is we actually co-develop with you, but also we purchased a platform and then we build a product on top of their platform. So I call AI at Work as our platform, AI at Process our platform, and we are building a product on top of it, where it is within our firewall, it is installed on-prem, it is connecting to all the models, which is OpenAI model today, but again, it's a model-agnostic platform. That's also a very important thing when to consideration. OpenAI is a strong partner for us today, but tomorrow there may be a model out there which may be better than OpenAI. How can we use that? That's where it's important decision today. So tomorrow that we are in this platform, which is model-agnostic, cloud-agnostic, and we can change if we want to change. If we want to connect to the different model, we can connect, or there may be a possibility we can use multiple models for the same orchestration. We are talking about agents here. Maybe there are 5 agents working together using different models and interacting with each other and getting you the result. Again, we are not there yet, but I can definitely see in theory that's happening. In that case, it's very important to have control over that platform where we can control it versus we are just using the vendor product as is. And that's the one of the decisions we took early on, that we will install, we'll make sure that our files, our data, everything is we can control it, right? And also the governance partner are very much lockstep with us on what we are doing. So that was very helpful for us, because of obviously some of the decisions we took because of our partners in model risk management and legal and compliance. But in a way, these are the good decisions we have to take, or for any enterprise have to take. And I know many enterprises are doing that actually now.
Awesome. You have tremendous top-down support from your executive team at Morgan Stanley. I know they've given clear direction on metrics, but when you measure impact 3 years on, what do you look at?
This is a really good question. I always tell what is my mission, right? And again, that would be any enterprise mission. I don't call it AI mission. I'm head of AI, but my mission is really the company's mission. Hey, increase the revenue, reduce the cost, and stable platform, right? 3 important aspects of it. Now, in my AI mission, based on these 3, it's probably around that. How can we increase the revenue? Obviously, I talked about it. There are many opportunities of AI to help the bank to increase the revenue. Reduce the cost is probably the topmost. Those 100 sub application, almost 95% of them are reducing the cost. And very important part is we are putting all these things in production, 100 plus application. How can we make sure that even the one or even the one of the things which will not bring us to some news on the newspaper saying that Morgan Stanley is doing this, right? What we don't want is the bad news, bad press, which we know with AI world, it's very easy to get. So how can we do in a very governed, controlled way where we don't have to go through that thing, which we know can be easily possible with AI. Those 3 things I'm really looking after. And that's the strategy, really. It's a very simple strategy. And I'm pretty sure it's not just Morgan Stanley. I'm pretty sure every enterprise is probably going through the exactly same thing.
Great. I just want to look around the room. As I said, Shailesh is ours. He's not mine. Anybody have any questions for Shailesh? Tom?
Shailesh, thank you very much. One of the underlying or enabling features that is really essential is cybersecurity. As you're connecting more and more of these workloads together, how do you think about cybersecurity to avoid some of those publicly humiliating things that can have an adverse impact on your customers?
Very good question. And again, so one of the important thing what we did early on is get cyber team involved. And this is exactly what I said when you started it. We want to govern all the traffic between the Morgan Stanley and the LLM. And LLM in this case, we are not hosting the LLM, right? Because these are the huge models. So we are using the cloud. There we are saying, hey, how we can work on the prompt injection attack, right? So we are putting in the governance layer or the gateway, which I talked about. That's the gateway part where we are trying to control, hey, is there a prompt injection happening? Or is there, again, we are working with some of the vendors for red teaming to make sure that, hey, is the model secure, first of all? What models we're using, what are the governance there, so that, because we don't want to just bring in a model or somebody just bring in the model and then there's an adverse impact due to that. So there are multiple layers here. One is at the vendor layer, maybe with the LLM vendor. Something is at our network layer. There are many different things. So we are the entire cyber team, along with the legal compliance team, is managing that. Now, do I have all the solution? No, but we are having the partnership with the our cyber team, and B, with our vendor partner. And we are actually working, and this is something I can say here. When we started working with OpenAI, this is 3 years back, it was a lab. There are at least 20 things which we've red flag it, saying that, hey, these are not something which an enterprise can use unless you fix this. And this is our cyber team actually did that. I won't take credit for this. But those are the kind of level or detail we are going through with our vendor partners to make sure they follow all the standards so that we can be safe as a bank.
Good. Oh, there's a couple of hands going up in the room.
Hello, Shailesh. I am Devrag. I'm the Chief AI of Atlantic Finance. We are a B2C lending company, and we also have a very big kind of on-the-ground, feet-on-street workforce. So is there a white paper or anything that came out of your work on especially the productivity increase that you achieved and any tips of tricks and application ideas and those kind of things?
Actually, as a bank, we typically don't go out selling it, or we don't put our name on it. So, and that's why even when I'm talking now, I'm talking with the Chatham House rule. I don't want people to quote me on this thing. But yeah, so there is a white paper, but some of the vendors published it where they didn't name it, saying that a big financial institute. So like a vendor, like you can find it some Wall Street Journal articles about it. Whatever we could publish, we did. We don't give out a number exactly or how we did it, right? So I would not able to answer the question exactly how we did it.
Hi, Shailesh. Brian Dempsey here. Question. What's one of the biggest challenges or pushbacks you've received from your business stakeholders, the line of business owners, and how did you handle that?
Actually, I had a very different experience. So business and tech partnership worked excellent on this. When I started, like I was telling the journey before, when we started, there was no ChatGPT. But luckily, the business and I was working on the same problem, really, how to use this knowledge base of we have, how can you able to get answers from it. So business was very, very supportive. And actually, the first support from AI came from directly from very top, like our CEO was already bought in. Where I found challenges not really for business is the governance function. So a lot of pushback from model risk management because they didn't know what to do. So far, we built thousands of models, but those are the machine learning models. They know how to document it. They know how to put in front of auditors. They didn't know what to do with this OpenAI model, which is we don't own it, but imagine we need to explain all the features of it and have the documentation in the same way as we build our in-house model. So that was one of the big challenges. Other challenge I found is from legal compliance. So legal team was way adamant on giving any approvals or every approval or every use case, they want us to go through them. So that's why it took some time to get them comfortable where we can say, hey, this AI is working, AI is taking decision, but there is always human in the middle. So if I have not said already, but all of a use case so far, again, I'm saying so far, has a human in middle. So AI does the work, but at the end of the day, it's the human who is doing the last step, right? I don't know when it will change. It will change with all the autonomous agent and we will get comfortable with something, but we are not there yet. So that's where I found the biggest pushback I got, but not from the business. In fact, the business was trying to get it, how quickly we can get to some of the function which they see in day-to-day life.
Thank you,
We got
Shailesh.
one more question here,
Yeah,
Shailesh.
one here. Amir Kashani from Stanley, Black & Decker. You talked about hundreds of pilots running in innovation. How do you govern or balance the risk of fast innovation? How do you rule them out? Or what is the funnel like that finally few of them are ready? And then how do you sandbox external innovation? Because I'm sure you get a lot of calls from a lot of innovative solutions. Thank you.
Both are a really good question. So as we did is we centralized something which is centralized sandbox, centralized AI gateway to connect to model. So people don't have to go and talk to each vendor. They come to the firm-wide AI team, that is our team, and they say, hey, I have the AI problem. How can I get access to the model, access to the platform, access to the accelerators, and build my use case? And mostly the use case they have has certain 4 or 5 patterns, right? It may be the document extraction, it may be the answering from knowledge base, which is RAG, it may be like now agentic AI. So some of those patterns it falls into one of those patterns, and we already have accelerators for that, which they can use. Important thing is we want them to quickly experiment, quickly show the result, and quickly fail. When I say 100 plus, I'm saying 100 plus production. In experiment, I would say it's 500 plus. Where I want people to experiment, that doesn't mean they can go to production. Where we control is from experiment to production. So experiment, it's really low bar. People just have to tell what they are experimenting on. You will get access to all this platform, all these tools, no cost to it, work on it. In fact, we ran a hackathon. Almost 5,000 people participated. It's almost 50% of the tech participated. They have access to this entire platform for 2 days. Almost 500 plus idea came. Not everything went in production because of priority and all of that thing, but a lot of things which is there. So point is experimentation many people can do. Now coming back to what you can go to production, now that needs a prioritization. The business prioritization. What is the business impact for this? Because the ideas are 100, doesn't mean that everything is giving you ROI or cost benefit, all of that, right? So that's where business has to prioritize. And then those prioritized ideas are one which get fast track or get on the track to put into production. And now then they follow the SDLC path to get there. And then also one of the very important thing we are doing there, obviously this is what AI at work is, what Raj is showing, is really we are putting the power to the business or power to the power user where they can build their own application without coming. And what we are telling the MRM team and legal compliance team is, hey, this is just a prompt. People can prompt it every time in ChatGPT. Now, if they can store it as their GPT or tools or tasks, they can repeat it the same steps and they can share with other people. That's the power. That's the power of really no code. Now, in a way, that's where the innovation will happen, because I'm giving, you don't need to work on help. You don't need help from technology. We are giving the platform where you can build your own GPTs, like what ChatGPT you can do at your home. And that's where we are going, where the complex workflows tech can do, but there are many things which a business can do on their own. And that's how we are seeing that the productivity is achieved. And that's where I can see the exponential curve path, because you cannot do from 1 to 100 where everything is dependent on Shailesh or my group, right? My team, I really don't want my team to grow. What I want is everybody in Morgan Stanley to really work on AI using our platform. That's the success for me.
Hi, Shailesh. My name is Sanjeev Srivastav. I'm with Incom Payments. When Raj was talking earlier, he was talking about sort of the holy grail of using AI across structured and unstructured data, right? As a financial services company, how much are you looking at marrying transactional data with unstructured process data, and any comments on how successful that has been?
Success, I'm still has a lot to go, but my background is data science, and I build a model using my structured data so far. Always a challenge is how to get unstructured data and how to get signal from unstructured data to get your model better, right? And that is a challenge. Where I think we are, I'm not there where I can say my ML model can now use unstructured data well. Where we are is, right now we are building, I call it unstructured data lake, where we can ingest all the documents, what we have, unstructured data we have, and create the signals, which arguably these models can use. Today, so far, we use it for RAG, which is retrieving the information, which is really the best search you can do. So that's where we use for. We use for extracting the information. Like example is from statement, I can extract all the data and actually store in structured data, which was never possible. Today, I can tell you one process where I think if you are a customer of Morgan Stanley and you say, oh, I'm a customer of Bank of America also, you give me physical statement of Bank of America and say, okay, now this is my external account. Now put this information so I know my whole portfolio. Today, my operators go there and manually enter your net worth or whatever the balance is, right? That's not the way. That's where we actually, what we did is actually you can just scan the statement, automatically extract all the information, which is very simple with AI. And now automatically it adds to my structured data. Now I can see you as your customer, I can see your entire 360 view, which was probably taking at least half a day or 1 day for somebody to enter in. So that kind of a thing what we are really looking for here. So yes,
Awesome.
answer is you're going there, but again, a lot to be done there.
Okay, awesome. I was going to ask you, Shailesh, three things, but I'm going to ask you one thing. What one piece of advice would you give folks here in the room that are thinking about entering into their AI journey, either experiment or at scale? What would be the one learn you would suggest to them?
Yeah, I would say there is a lot of noise, right? When you're starting, pick a partner, stick with the partner, and partner will work with you, right? Again, this 3-year journey, 3 year back, Core was not there where they are. OpenAI was not there where they are today, but we picked the partner 3 years back. We're still sticking with those partners. The world changes, they change with you. And this world is changing very fast. So that's one thing. Also the buying. Without buying up my senior folks, the C-suite level, my CEOs, this journey would not be possible because investment, make it centralized, very difficult to do if you're starting from the silo. So get the people involved, get the company involved, because this is the company project. This is not a siloed project. And my always the vision is everybody in the firm should have AI use case. People always come to me and saying, Shailesh, can I, in Morgan Stanley, they said, hey, can I join your team? I want to work on AI. I always tell the best team to work for AI is your team which you're working. I can bet you if I spend 5 minutes with you, I'll come with 5 use cases you have. You are the domain expert, you are the expert. I'm here only to give you this accelerators, this platform where you can come in and build a use case to solve your problem. You don't have to work in different team. You don't have to change the team, but you will have a use case. That's the thing. And again, you see that 100+ use case is not because I'm working on 100+ use cases. I'm just a catalyst to get them there. So that's what I would put.
All I can say, Shailesh, from the group here in the room, thank you for your time. I think he was absolutely awesome. So thank you very, very much.
Thank you.
Thank you and enjoy your evening. See you.
Enjoy your evening. Thanks.
You do the same. Thank you, Celeste.